It goes without saying that tomato is one of the most consumed crop in Nigeria. We use it in almost every meal you can think of, from stews to jollof rice to porridge. Some even use it in their beans. Yes, beans. I know, right? It's weird. So as a farmer, tomato is one of the most profitable crop you can look into for 2025 and beyond. In this video, I'll be sharing practical tips, what to do, what to avoid for a bountiful harvest in tomatoes for this year. I'm Olashibomi, but you can call me that chick farmer. If you've been here before, thank you very much for coming back. You're welcome here. And if you're new to this channel, you're also welcome. On this channel, we make farming modern, exciting, and we also show that farming can be a lifestyle. In today's topic, we'll be sharing how much struggles of tomato farmers and what you can do to navigate that terrain and the struggles and have a bountiful harvest this year. So now let's get right into the video. The first thing to do is to choose the right variety. In Nigeria, the tomatoes we eat mostly is plum tomatoes and cherry tomatoes. However, there's a plethora of different species of tomato. But right here, I'm just telling you the common tomatoes you will find in the market, which is plum tomatoes and cherry tomatoes. So choosing the right variety includes knowing exactly which species of tomato to plant and the generation of tomato to plant. Mind you, please and please, always plant an F1 generation tomato seed. That is, tomatoes that are first generation seeds. Don't go keeping your seeds from the last tomatoes you bought from the market and hoping to use it to plant and get a better yield or what have you. So stick with F1 generation tomato seed. Now, example of tomato seeds you can buy are Padma, Jara, Uwezo, Platinum, Cobra, Zara, and the likes. Note, however, some of these varieties are better suited for the rainy season period, and some of these varieties can withstand the heat and drought of the dry season. So knowing which variety to plant in which season is the first key to having a very good tomato harvest. Number 2, prepare your soil. I cannot overemphasize the importance of having good soil. Always check your soil pH to know the level of acidity, which should be between 6.0 and 6.8 for any soil that you'll be using for your tomato farm. Tomato also likes very loose soil, that is soil that can drain water and will not leave the soil feeling compact at the end of the day. So knowing the kind of soil you are planting, preparing that soil to take in your tomato seedling, properly manuring and composting that soil is also the second key to having a very good tomato harvest as a tomato farmer. So if you're just starting or you are a seasoned farmer, please do ensure to check the health and the management of your soil that you want to use to plant your tomatoes. Start with seedlings. I cannot overemphasize or overflog the importance of nursing your tomato seeds properly. Before you plant your tomatoes, you have to nurse these seeds in a place called nursery. Don't go taking your tomato seed and putting it in the field or just planting it directly. Tomatoes do not do well with direct sowing. So nurse these tomatoes in plant food, cocoa pits, cocoa coir, rice husk, whatever is available to you. Ensure that this planting medium that you want to use would properly drain water. Nurse these tomatoes and leave them in the dark room for about 5 to 7 days and watch them germinate. After germination, you can now move them to your nursery where you will now watch them consistently, water them consistently, and at certain points involve fertilizers in the feeding of these tomato seedlings. A good tomato seedling is the base of a healthy tomato plant. Another key thing to note in tomato farming is your IPM, that is integrated pest management. However, in this video, I'll also be including common tomato diseases that you should look out for in your tomato plants. Now back to IPM. When you plant or transplant your tomatoes in the field, ensure to look out for the kinds of pests that are available in your farm. That is aphids, whiteflies, weevils, leaf miners. The list is endless. Now, there are different kinds of pesticides that are targeted towards different kinds of pests. Ensure to have a plethora of them so that these particular pests or the one that is peculiar to your farm does not get resistant to one particular active ingredient. So always take note of the active ingredient you're spraying on your farm per time. Also, you can use biological method to combat this pest. That is like using neem oil and soap, or creating your own homemade insecticidal soap to also combat the pest on your farm. In another video, most likely a short, I'll be teaching us how to create our own insecticidal soap. You can also introduce predatory insect or pest that will feed on these white flies, leaf miners and the likes, so that you can have bountiful harvest at the end of the day. Transplanting with care. After leaving your tomatoes in the nursery for about 3 to 4 weeks, they should be between 6 to 8 inches tall and they are prime for transplanting. Now, the key to transplanting is the timing for transplanting. Do not go transplanting your tomatoes in the heat of the day or in the heat of the sun. Transplanting should happen in the early hours of the morning, between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. Or you suspend it to the hours of 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Anytime in the early hours of the morning or in the cool hours of the day is the best time to transplant your tomatoes. This will prevent them from experiencing things like heat shock, heat wave, stress and what have you. And immediately after you've transplanted, do well to wet these tomato seedlings properly so that they can be relaxed. You know, as humans now, even as humans, when you go out and you come back or you move from one location to another location, you are tired and the first thing you want to do is drink water. So after you've transplanted these tomatoes from the nursery to the permanent site, ensure you give them water for them to be relaxed. Let them have more than enough water to drink. However, don't go overlogging your soil with water. Don't say I told you to wet. Please do it consistently but in moderation. Another very key, very important step to take in your tomato farming is staking and pruning. Many a times, farmers do not see the need to prune their tomatoes or stake their tomatoes. Pruning will allow there to be aeration in the lower parts of the plant, thereby allowing air to pass through, leaving you with healthy crops. Staking will also help your plant stand upright and give them the strength to carry the tomato weight, and also do not allow you have a lot of damaged fruits. If you do not prune and if you do not stake, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. You're going to have a lot of damaged fruits. You're going to have a lot of loss. So prune your tomato plants so that even when there is rain splash, that is if you are not mulching, there will be no transference of diseases from the soil to the plants. And also when you stake, your tomatoes will be standing upright, leaving you with less damaged fruits and more fruits to take to market. So do not ignore or do not skip the staking and the pruning process. Feeding your plants. Another key thing in a successful tomato farming is your fertilization plan. After transplanting your tomato plants, in the vegetative state, they would need a lot of nitrogen for leaf development, phosphorus for root development. Do not ignore any of this after you've transplanted. So feeding your tomato plants a well-balanced nutrient, just like you, a human being, would need balanced diet to grow properly. Your tomato plant needs a well-balanced ration of fertilizer to grow properly. Now at the fruiting and flowering stage, the tomato plant will be needing fertilizers high in potassium and phosphorus so that they can flower and also convert to fruit better. Then you also need calcium so that your fruit size can be big. You don't have a lot of bruising to your tomatoes, and by the time your tomatoes get to the end users, these tomatoes will be long lasting. 2 to 3 weeks they wouldn't have become water. So in your vegetative state, take notes. You need nitrogen for leaf development, phosphorus for root development. In fruiting and flowering stage, you need a lot of potassium based fertilizers, phosphorus based fertilizers, and as well calcium based fertilizers. So do not skip giving your plants a balanced ration. Remember, they are living things just like you and I. Harvest. It may shock you that I'm talking about harvest. However, this is also a key point in ensuring that you have a profitable tomato farm. Now, I'm not saying a bountiful tomato farm. I'm talking about a profitable tomato farm. When tomatoes are bright red, it indicates that they are ready for harvest. However, different markets, different customer, different clientele, different target markets, they demand for different ripeness of tomatoes. So for established tomato farmers, we know to harvest our tomatoes according to the demands of our customers. So you can harvest at 60% ripe, 70% ripe, 80% ripe, 90% ripe, and even 100% ripe. But all of this percentage of ripeness is dependent on what your customers need. And also, harvesting at an earlier percentage of ripeness can also help elongate the shelf life of your tomatoes when it gets to the end users. Also, harvesting your tomatoes in crates and not our local baskets would also help to preserve and elongate the shelf life of your tomatoes, because you see, these local baskets, they pierce and bruise your tomatoes, but putting it away in a well aerated crate will help to ensure conveying your tomatoes from the farm to the market safely and bruise free. So there you have it. If you watched up to this point, I'm well assured that you have interest in pursuing a profitable tomato venture, or you have challenges that you're hoping that this video will be able to help you solve. And I hope you've learned one or two things in this video. However, share your experiences with me. If you have any questions, any contributions, do let me know in the comment sections. Any challenges at all you're facing, or you think you might face in the long run, any questions at all, please let me know in the comment section, and I will do well to attend to them. Also, do not forget to subscribe if you're new here, and if you're a returning subscriber, also to the new subscribers, turn on your notification bell so you do not miss any video. Also, share this video to someone that you think this video might help, a startup tomato farmer or an established tomato farmers. Share this video to your friends, your families, your loved ones that you think this video might be helpful for. Comment, like, and share. Thank you for joining us today, and I'll see you in my next video.